I say this, I'm a bloodline breaker. I'm a label breaker. That internally my mind likes to tell me who I am, and it's not very good to me. Development.
What do you mean by that? Mr. Andy Elliot. One of the world's leading experts when it comes to personal transformation and business development.
One of the most dominating sales leaders on the planet right now. Then the man, the myth, the legend himself.
And I think all honesty and all truth, like, is what people hate, but it's the thing that's needed for change to happen. Do you believe there's a better version of you? Yeah, well, absolutely. Okay, cool. You will never reach for that until you have someone in your life come and tell you some things that are gonna hurt your feelings.
I heard about this Andy Elliot guy that came out of nowhere this last few years. He built this $100 million sales company.
I have the best sales trainer I have ever met.
Every day you have to plug into something and brainwash yourself on how we're going to think today, how today's going to go, who we are today.
Had you made any money in the coaching space when you quit?
Dude, listen, I tried for 20 years to make as much money as I could, and I didn't like who I became. But then when I focused on not chasing money anymore, but chasing the man I was supposed to be, I 50x my income. Loyalty is a big deal. Loyalty is a huge deal to me. If I go higher, number one. Okay, second's going to be it. Number three is going to be how. If you're not going to stand out, if you're not going to be different, if you can't make relationships that others can't, if you don't understand human capital, if you don't understand relationship capital, you're out. Watch, I'm going to show you how to kill it. I'm going to give you a blueprint right now. If you follow, you're a threat to the world. And I mean it in a good way. Like, no one can mess with you.
Are you in real estate? Are you in mortgage, insurance, car sales? You're in any kind of business and you struggle to hit your goals. If you're struggling to hit your goals, I submit to you that you have yet to become the person who can achieve the things that you want to achieve. And I just happen to be sitting right next to one of the world's leading experts when it comes to personal transformation and business development, Mr. Andy Elliot. What's up, bro?
Grateful for you, man. Appreciate
How are you,
it.
Man?
Good. I'm amazing. Anybody who's watching this today, I promise you there's one thing that will change your life. So, listen up, watch it till the end. I always tell people, like, winners live where quitters quit. And so, like, a lot of people, they quit watching something too soon, and the message they needed was just like 5 more minutes away.
So true.
Yeah, so get a pen, piece of paper. If you hear it, write it down, and then that way you can take action on it.
It seems like some of the best nuggets are always towards the end.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's like warming up in a football game or something. I can imagine, like, right when you hit the field, like, you don't make your best play.
Yeah.
The best play could come in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But most people don't sit around; they leave at halftime.
Yeah.
Because most other people are leaving, so that's where they leave.
Towards the end of a podcast, people are really relaxed and they start really ripping, and all of a sudden, some
plus
nuggets.
I'm purposely going to drop something that'll change your life at the end. That's only there for the winners. Now I'm just going to do that intentionally now. So I was going to say something now, but I'm just going to go ahead and hold that till the end. So, all right, what do you want to talk about?
Well, man, thanks for your hospitality. I've had like 4 people ask for a glass of water here. Your place is amazing.
Thank you.
I see you as you've mastered the art and science of transformation. I've listened to a lot of your stuff, and it just seems like you've been through a lot. And this place that you are in every aspect, family, fitness, wealth, but this building, I feel like it's like a symbol of everything you've been through and your personal transformation. And I coach real estate agents, and it's one of the highest failure rate industries out there. And I feel like we can talk all about what we think. Yeah. What you can say what you think the reason of failure is, but what I've observed is that regardless of what it is, the bigger it all comes right back to the fact that you couldn't let go of who you were enough to become the person who can do the things that you want in order to succeed. It's like agents who won't make calls. They're scared to make calls. Well, the person who's going to succeed at the level that they want, they're willing to call anybody right now, as many people as they got to call to get the job done and hit their goals, but they won't let go of who they are long enough. So, man, I want to dive into this with you because, again, I've heard so many of your different transformational stories, and I think this is where people are going to get the most value. Somebody's sitting here in business, and they want to make this personal transformation in their life so they can go out and do amazing things and provide an amazing life for their family. Where do you start with somebody like that that's just sitting there saying, I just can't seem to make it happen.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, and by the way, this will work for anybody. So the cool thing is that even if you're 12 years old and you turn this on, like, this is for you, okay? It's really for anybody. So number one, I learned this, and I don't know why, it takes so long to learn things. Like, sometimes people are pretty stupid, but my mind's never been my friend. It's never been my friend. My mind has labeled me. I say this, I'm a bloodline breaker. I'm a label breaker. I've been reborn. I've been totally recreated. I've reinvented myself. I could say it any way I wanted. I'm going to tell you this, that internally my mind likes to tell me who I am, and it's not very good to me. I'm not very good to me. And so I had to learn when I got into my self-development.
What do you mean by that? You're not very good to you.
Well, I'm not very good to me. Like, I could never be as good as that guy, or
Wow.
I could never earn that much money, or I could never do that. I couldn't get that because that guy's like that, and I wasn't dealt good cards or hands like that. It's just, I don't live there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they live in a whole different economic. The economy is a whole different place over there. Internally, my mind would try to tell me, like, every reason why I couldn't do it. And also, at the end of the day, a lot of us may have made a lot of mistakes that are watching this, and we carry a lot of shame, and no one knows about it. And I carried a lot of shame for a very long time, and I used to not be a very good person. I used to not have very good intentions. And by the way, listen to me. I used to not like me, and I didn't know I didn't like me until I spent some time working on me, which is, I'm going to tell you, the key to changing your life. The greatest gift you could ever give yourself, the greatest gift, all the gifts that there are to give. It's not a big Rolex. It's not a $10 million house. It's the ability to spend time working on you. And I didn't know this, and I did it on accident, which is crazy. Like, we're here on accident. No, I mean, we're here by God's purpose, but it almost didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, some of you won't listen to me, and it won't happen for you, and you missed your window. And what I'm about to explain, like, you totally missed it, man. God just gave you a way out, and you didn't take time to understand what I'm about to tell you. In 2019 in November. I mean, it's 2024 right now in December.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going back like this, like
5 years.
5 years ago. My wife has a really hard conversation with me. And I think all honesty and all truth, like, is what people hate, but it's the thing that's needed for change to happen. And no one can change without truth and honesty. If you won't get on, if you can just be honest with yourself right now, do you believe there's a better version of you? Yeah, well, absolutely. Okay, cool. You will never reach for that until you have someone in your life come and tell you some things that are going to hurt your feelings. And at that point in time, you got to decide, is this person being mean to me, or is this person being honest to me? And honestly, dude, like, a lot of people have ego in this world, so they don't like to hear these things. It's one of the hardest things to do. But I'm going to take you back to November of 2019. My wife, I was like, hey, babe, I'm on my way home. Hey, babe, I'm on my way home. She's heating up the food. Hey, babe, I'm on my way home. Heating up the food. Third time heating up the food. Hey, babe, I'm on my way home. You know what I mean? We're working. Mm-hmm. We're working hard. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get out of there, but I was finishing that last deal. Mm-hmm. There's always, you know what? When I might as well work hard now because my kid's young. And then you look up and he's 9. And you're like, man, just 2 more years. I did one more day. I did one more hour. I did one more. I literally worked so hard because I thought if I could just make enough money, it was going to solve every problem in my life. And my definition of success was skewed. From 0 to 18, I was dead broke, had no money, not even $5 in my hand. By the time I turned 18, I make my first commission, $1,700 one day. I said, oh my God, dude, this is my way out, sales. I'm going to be the greatest sales guy in the world. I'm going to figure out everything about sales, and I'll become the best. And then when I got finally, being promoted is usually a demotion when you're in sales. If you're great at sales, stay in sales. Don't promote unless you're ready to get paid less until you get really good. So then finally I promoted, and I was like, dude, I suck at leadership. Like, I can't redo it. I can't clone myself. Mm-hmm. So I got 50 guys. I was the best. I got promoted. They said, hey, he's the best. He'll make them the best. And then I realized I can't clone me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I had to figure out how to be a good leader. And then that took some time. And so sales, leadership will get you rich. Mm-hmm. I just thought if I made enough money, everything in my life would be fine. Well, the problem with that is I married my wife. I promised her the ride of a lifetime. And I was really in really good shape when we met. And then over the years, I was getting out of shape. I always told God, give me healthy kids. I promise you, I'll say a prayer with them every night, brush their teeth, put them to bed, say a prayer. You know, I'm going to give them showers and all that. And 2 or 3 years after that happens, I'm a good dad. I'm better than most. Everybody watching this right, I'm better than most. I am better than all my friends I know. I didn't go play golf on Sunday. I was with my family. The problem is I was exhausted, and even when I was with my family, anytime that I was at home, I was literally thinking about being back at work the next day because I knew of all the things that I had to do. I was so one-dimensional.
So if you went back, would you have done the same? What would you have done differently?
Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I would have done.
Like we go through that phase where we feel like we've got to do all this stuff, but where do we draw the line?
Watch, I'm gonna show you how to kill it. I'm gonna give you a blueprint right now. If you follow, you're a threat to the world. And I mean it in a good way. Like no one can mess with you. Total market disruption. You'll destroy any industry, real estate, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you could also ruin your whole life. How many people do we know right now try and chase big businesses, try and chase big money, divorce, they get out of shape? Listen, dude, hey, I know you don't want to be out of shape, but you do because, you sacrifice for what you want, or what you want becomes a sacrifice. Got to make sacrifices. And then at the end of the day, you end up looking up, you're out of shape, marriage is in the trash can, not close to God. You really don't even like you. And most people who are lost don't know they're lost. So you don't even know you're lost. And you're not making the money you want anyways, and you flushed everything down the damn toilet. And even if you're making some money, you look up and you're probably looking in the mirror and you're like, I'm not proud of me. This isn't who I should be. You're probably making decisions based off money because success to you means money. And listen, I never had a good leader in my life. No one ever told me this. That's why I'm trying to tell you that. In November 2019, my wife finally, at 11 o'clock at night, I come home. Food has been heating up 3 times. She's so patient, man. She's been so good to me. She's the best wife in the world. She was going to be successful.
How long had y'all been married up to that point?
I've been married for 13 years at this point. I'm married 18 years now. Dude, this is just 5 years change, and I know the play now. And this is the play that I teach my students. I mean, we have millions of people around the world. I teach them this play, and they go annihilate everybody. But no one ever told me the play because the people that I worked for were people who said, money is what you need. You need more money, man. More money. You get it now, you can do whatever you want later. You'll get in shape later, man. Okay? Look, dude, your wife, dude, you came from nothing, man. She should be grateful, bro, that you're making money. So 2019, making about $2 million a year. I was making more than I ever thought I could. And I'm totally lost, and I don't even understand. My wife is hurt. She was hurt for years. I had no idea she was hurt. Anytime she tried to speak up, I tell her quit nagging me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good man. I treat her good. I don't cheat on her. I don't run around her.
She was trying to tell you, you just weren't listening.
Yes, but this is what happens. This is what happens all the time. Is ego and pride kills everything. And because my mom left when I was 2, Jerry Springer shit show growing up, I didn't have nothing. No one believed in me. I was betting on me, proving everybody wrong. I was in this state with this cold heart for a long time. Now, I was loving to my kids, but I came in, I'm going to tell you this, I walked straight to my kids. I kissed my kids. I kissed my wife second. Dude, a good man would go and kiss his wife first and show his kids that his mother, right, their mother, is the most important thing in the house. Dude, after her waiting on me all day long, taking care of the house, making food, all this, I came home like she owed me that for making money. I was a piece of crap. And I want to tell you something, man. So she says this night. She's finally like, all right, enough's enough. Tonight, we're going to get direct. And she says, number 1, me and the kids have learned to live without you. Just so you're aware, like we've learned to live without you. If something were to happen, it would not change any of the thing, the income part. But other than that, we don't count on you to be here.
Right.
The kid, you don't even know what the kids are interested in. You love the kids, but you don't even really sit down and have a conversation with them. You're always on your phone. You're always working the next deal.
Yeah.
No matter if I want to show you attention, it don't matter. Me and you aren't on fire. You promised me once I married you, you made me fall in love with you, and then you went and worked. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like to some people, that's enough, dude. That's not the standard that my wife had in her head. By the way, if you listen to me, some of you may be like, oh man, I can't believe that. She's ungrateful. No, if you believe that someone has more potential and you love them, it is your job to tell them that they have more in them and be direct with them and be straight with them and tell them the truth. And guess what? Here's what's crazy. I 50x my income in the next 5 years. I want you to understand this. If somebody's listening right now, I tried for 20 years to make as much money as I could, and I didn't like who I became. But then when I focused on not chasing money anymore, but chasing the man I was supposed to be, I 50x my income. And this is so crazy because it is so, no one's going to tell you this. No one wants you to believe this, okay? But this is the play. And by the way, if you want to be like everyone else, that's fine. But nobody wants to be like everyone. Everybody wants to be like if they're not going to make statues of you if you're like everyone else. You're going to have to stand out, be different. You're going to have to do something different in your life. And so my wife's like, I thought you were going to be different. So we've learned to live without you. And then number 2, immediately followed up where she reaches over and grabs my love handle. And you probably heard this, but she grabbed my love handle and she just pulled on it. And I remember, dude, I swear I wanted to kill her.
Did she grab it hard? Did
Yeah,
she
she
kind of
grabbed it
pinch it where it
hard. No, she
hurt?
grabbed it hard and she like pulled on it. And she's like, also?
Was she smiling or was she?
No, she goes, you're getting comfortable.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I'm going to be like, she's like, look, me and the kids have learned to live without. I want to tell you something, Andy. I want you to listen to me. Me and the kids have learned to live without you. And number 2, you're getting comfortable. And she reaches over and grabs my love handle. And she goes, listen to me. Things are going to change around here. You're either going to become, see, and then she explained, and she goes, you're one-dimensional. You only think you can have success and money. You don't think you can be the best. You want to be the best at work. And I know that. I know how you are. And I'm glad that you're fulfilled as a man to be the best at work. I love that about you. I married a winner. But you're not the best husband in the world. There are levels that we've never unlocked because it's not important to you. You're not the best daddy. You're better than most, but that is the opposite of great. Great hates good. She goes,
Did you think at the time that you were being a great dad?
yes, but watch this. She checked me. And by the way, I want to tell some of you right now, if you'll pay attention and stay with me long enough, I wasn't close to God. I wasn't physically fit. She was telling the truth. I always loved being fit. I always loved being in shape. I hated that about me not being in shape. I was getting dressed, not even looking at myself no more. I didn't like that, but I was just getting numb. You know what I'm saying? And
You were just focused on the money.
yeah, dude, and I'm going to tell you something. Listen, I hated what she said, which usually when you tell someone the truth, they're going to hate it. But I knew my wife's heart was in the right place. I'm going to tell you something. This is the most important part of this. When she told me this, when I looked at her, even though that I had this like evil running through me, I could just tell that like she was trying to be like her. She was wearing her heart on her sleeve when she was telling me. And I was just like, man, this is like heartbreaking. It's the hardest thing she ever said to me. So I go into the gym immediately, and I have this weight set in the garage, and I just need to spend time working on me. That's all I need. I didn't know, man, am I going to get in the car and leave? Am I going to do this? I don't know. I'm going in the garage, though. So I stayed in that garage for 4 hours, and I worked out harder than I had ever worked out my whole life for 4 hours. And when I was done, I felt so good. I felt like that was the vitamins that I needed. I felt like this is who I am. I'm a guy that has higher standards. I'm a guy that has core values. What in the hell has happened to me? My wife is everything. My kids are everything. God has always been important to me, and I freaking ain't even talked about him in 4 years. I'm lost, man. I'm so lost. And so literally I needed to change immediately. I had hair at that point, and dude,
Were
I
you
just
in
went
car
and shaved
sales then?
Yeah, I was in
still?
the automotive industry. And so I shaved my head. I go in the garage. I told you, worked out. There were some clippers over
You
here.
shaved your head that night?
Right then. I didn't even go. I went in the garage with hair, shaved my head, and then I just wanted to see a different person. Bro, it wasn't like my body was going to change. I worked out for 4 hours and noticed that didn't change.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to shave my head. And you know what? This is what's cool, man. I always say there's 2 things that'll ruin a man's life: not having the right woman, and then not having a brotherhood. When a man's going through a problem, he needs some good men to reach out to him, not an idiot, okay? A good man to say, like, if you're fighting with your wife, like, dude, she's everything to you, man. You know that. You love her more than anything in the world, dude. You don't want to go do nothing stupid. Get your ass back home. You know, we need guys like that in our life instead of saying, oh, man, screw her, dude. I can't believe she'd treat you that way. You make good money, dude. You don't have to put up with that crap. And that's the deal. I'm telling you, men are getting screwed up because they got the wrong men in their life, and then they got the wrong woman. And I'm going to explain the woman part right now. When I walked in, I remembered I did not know how the conversation was going to go with my wife. And I wasn't sure if I was ready to change. I was going to get mad, if it was going to be a fight. And my wife literally, all she said was, Andy, we're going to go through a recreation process. I'm going to help you. We're both going to become great. She's like, from this day forward.
Was she also out of shape
No,
and stuff?
my wife was always
she
in good
shape.
shape. She's like, from this day forward, which is what I loved, I will not get historical. I will not bring up the past. I will not bring up anything. I will hold no resentment, no grudges. She says, you know who I see you as? As a great man. As as a guy making way more money than you make now. You think that you're making money now? She goes, Andy, I see you, but also I don't see you just making money. I see you changing people's lives. I feel like there's so much more, and I just want you to understand this. Don't be one-dimensional. Everyone's taught you your whole life that you can only have this, and that's a lie. And she's like, the devil is the father of lies, and he has made you believe all of these lies that you can't have all these things. Look, you know when you talk to your sales team, and I see you and you're firing them up, and then you come over to me, she goes, inside I'm thinking, I wish I could get some of that. She's like, I wish the kids could get some of that. She's like, you have this level inside of you that we want you to share with the family. I want you to share that guy with me. I want you to come home and say, babe, we're growing our marriage today. And she's like, I know normal men don't say that, and that is weird. But she's like, I thought I married a maverick. I thought I married a guy that was going to push all the levels. I didn't know you're only going to push that. And so a normal wife, an average wife, wouldn't go and get mad at her husband for this. But for me, I see more in you, and I feel like that's my responsibility as your wife, is to always protect you, to love you, and to push you when there's new levels. And she's like, I think we're at a point now in life where me and you are ready for a new level. And I'm going to tell you what I did. So this is where the self-development comes in. Number one, that exercise made me feel so good that I made a lot of false promises to my wife. Hey, babe, I'm going to start going to the gym, 5 a.m. I would do it for 3 weeks and quit. And then I would never go. Hey, babe, I'm going to start, we're going to go on a date night every week.
After that?
No, like before this.
Before that.
Hey, from now on, we're going to go on a date night, once a week. And we go twice, and then we wouldn't go for 5 months. Dude, and by the way, people are like, oh, come on, man, that's life. No, that's not life. Because I wasn't slipping at work. Dude, I was a killer at work. If I said I was going to be there at 6:30 a.m., I was there at 6:30 a.m.
Do you think that messed with your communication with your clients, that you were not dependable in other areas in your life?
No.
So it slipped into the confidence?
Well, I'm sure it did, but at that time I didn't realize it. Obviously it did, because look what just happened. I mean, like where I'm at now in life. Watch, I go to the internet. I never was on the internet. Dude, I've never been on the internet before 2019. I've never been. And I built a massive brand. I've never been on social media. I go and I type in motivation, because you know what amateurs look for? Motivation. And so I type in motivation, because I'm like, I got to change my life, so I got to get motivated, right? Because I don't know what I need, because I've never worked on me. I've done sales training, but I've never done like working on me.
Up to that point, did you ever go to church?
Yes, I went to church, and I loved God, but I wasn't loving me. It's very hard. Look, dude, if you don't love you, I promise you, you're not going to be very good to your kids. You're not going to be very good to your wife. You're not. Dude, listen, it all stems from self-love. If you don't love you, you can't love anyone else. And I wasn't being very good to me. And so that's why I was telling you, my mind, like not being my friend, my whole life, I remember a guy would walk by, he's in shape, and I'm not in shape. I'd be like, man, screw that guy. Dude, I bet he's broke. I bet he drives a crappy car. Dude, I bet I got more money than that guy. I was a hater. Instead of seeing that guy going, damn, man, I want to be like that guy. Hey, man, how did you get there? Oh, you were disciplined? Oh, this is what you do? Oh, I don't have time for that. And then he would return. Oh, you always have time for what you want to make time for. And then I'd be like, oh, damn, I don't like that answer. And so, like, I needed to realize that everything that I ever wanted was right in front of me. And long story short, I get on social media, or I get on YouTube. It was YouTube. And I typed in motivation, and Tony Robbins' video pulled up. And, like the godfather of, like motivation, right? And I literally watched this video. I was like, I'll watch this for 2 or 3 minutes. This is so crazy. This is what I want to tell everybody right now. When I say that your mind isn't your friend, every day you have to plug into something and brainwash yourself on how we're going to think today, how today's going to go, who we are today. I got to tell myself how today's going to, I got to be good to me. I got to love me. I got to be good to me. I got to talk good to me. I got to tell myself, yeah, straight brainwash. And I'm going to tell you how I know that this is real, because it happened the first time I did it, and now I've become a master at doing it. And I watched that video I said, I'm going to watch this video for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to turn it off. Dude, I swear I looked up 2 hours later. I'm watching Tony. He's ripping. And I'm like.
It hooked you.
Well, I was thinking different. I felt different. I wasn't struggling internally. I realized, man, that I am not good to me. I don't, like, like there's a lot of people that know a lot more than I know right now. And I needed to change. And in order to change, you got to get real honest with yourself. And I was like, dude, okay, like I'm ready. Like for the first time, I believed that those things that my wife said, like, you know, I see you changing people's lives. Look, until I was 39, I helped a lot of people make money, but I didn't change anyone's life. No one ever came up to me and go, Andy, you changed my life. They said, Andy, thank you for making me that paycheck. And so like at that video, I felt like my intention started to change about who I saw myself as, like an outside version of me, like who I was going to be. And then the craziest thing happened, which we already know what's going to happen next. There was some offer that came up. And he goes, if you've watched this and you made it and, you know, you've been watching this for 2 hours, I bet right now, he's like, I bet you're thinking different. I bet you even feel different. I bet you're probably ready to take some new actions right now. But actions don't happen because every action is mothered and fathered by a decision. And you got to make a decision. Are you ready to change right now? And dude, he was like talking to me. I'm like, yes. I'm like, yeah. I'm watching the computer. I'm like, yes, I'm ready. And he's like, down below, there's going to be an offer. And I built this training program. It's called the KBB Broker Blueprint Training Course that is going to teach you that you have a specialized skill inside of you. And I'm going to show you how to use that specialized skill and teach other people. And he said, what are you good at? And I was like he's talking, I'm like, sales. And he's like, if you're good at sales, there's lots of people that love to cut a check to be as good as you are in sales and not have to wait 20 years, and they'd like to have it now. If you want me to teach you how to do that, and you want to change your life, maybe you don't like what you're currently doing. I was like, I hate what I'm doing. Maybe you don't like who you are. You're not getting to see your kids. You're not close with your wife. Maybe a chapter's ready to change in your life. I'm like, change the chapter. I'm like, I'm that guy that I coach now, and it had to happen to me, and that's why I know it's real. That's why I'm like telling people, like, I remember I almost didn't do it, dude. I stared at that button for like almost an hour, and it was $3,000. And I don't know, man. The old amygdala started kicking in, telling me stories. You know, this isn't gonna change nothing. You got work tomorrow. You need to go to bed. This is stupid. You know, car sales change your life. You've been doing this since you're 18. You know, you're 39. You got a good life right now. You're never gonna leave this business. You know what I'm saying? This is just a phase. You know, dude, I thought everything. Then click.
You just did it.
I just did it. I always say, like, dude, if you're not willing to bet on you, no one else is gonna bet on you in life. Okay? And I think that was the only thing, was the pain of what my wife was telling me about how she felt. There's those people that, like, you don't want to let down in your life. And I've only had one of them, and that was her. And no one ever believed in me, but then there was that person that always believed in me. And I didn't really know who I wanted to be when I bought that training course. I didn't even understand what he was saying to me. But I did know, and this is important, who I didn't want to be. And dude, I didn't want to be the old me anymore. I hated me. Listening to him talk made me feel so good. It totally changed my state, you know, from like what I was doing before. And dude, I didn't want to leave that feeling.
It gave you hope.
Yeah,
Like,
and I didn't want to.
There is something better. There's a future.
Yes, hope in a future, and I didn't want to leave that feeling. So I thought if I bought this, I could spend more time with this guy. And, you know, if you can't be with somebody like face to face, you know, we're in an era right now where you can buy trainings and you can get and learn what these people have learned over their whole life and how they're successful. And you can just model proven practices and how they did it. And they will tell you, and you study them, you learn it, and you learn it, and then you live it. And anyways, I bought that, man. I trained it for 30 days, and I went and quit my job. I couldn't believe it.
How long
man.
was that after you your wife had that talk with you and you worked out?
Within 30 days.
So within the month you.
Dude, when I quit my job, I remember I went and told my wife I quit my job, and you know, like I can only imagine.
Had you made any money in the coaching space when you quit, or were you just?
I went broke for 2 years. Listen, this is what's so crazy, is sometimes everybody thinks in this world that like when you change something, and by the way, I'm not a quitter. Sometimes it's good to stop doing something and start something else. And I thought if I was quitting, I was being a quitter. Sometimes you need to stop. If you're in a toxic relationship, you're not a quitter if you break up with the person. You stop doing it because it is bad for you. You just stop. It's like you're stopping it. You're not quitting. You're going to start something else, but you're just stopping that. But us internally, we think we're quitting, right?
Right.
And I remember when I stopped that career.
That's good. The difference between quitting and stopping.
Yeah, I went immediately into something else, but I just had to stop. So anyways, as soon as I did that, my wife, I saw this support from her that was like a whole nother level. It was insane. And whenever that happened, I was like, damn. I was like, I've never seen her support me like this. And the coolest thing, this is what she said. She's like, look, no more false promises. Okay, what does that mean? Say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. By the way, I'm going to tell you this. Anybody who's watching this, when someone changes, you can see their eyes change. And so my eyes, my wife's like, dude, your eyes change. She's like, look, I'm going to explain the difference, Andy. She's like, for the last 5 years, you've looked through me. I've seen you walk in the house, you look right through me. You had these love eyes when I fell in love with you, and you were looking at me. Like you genuinely noticed me. And for the last 5 years, I hadn't felt that. And she's like, those love eyes are back. And she's like, so because of that, I know we're on the verge of a breakthrough. Regardless of how much money we make, I will support you when I see that you're serious, you're not going to make false promises, and you're committing. And the decision was made. And she said, hey, we're going to sell our house. She goes, listen to me. This is going to be a journey, but I'm going to go on it with you. And immediately we sold our house. We sold our furniture. We sold everything we had. And we went and literally got a rent house. And we had $1 million house in Oklahoma, which is like, in Oklahoma, it's a big deal, or it's for anybody, in the car business, having $1 million house was pretty rare growing up. And it was all paid off. Our cars were paid off, everything. We sold everything. She was like, we're going to get rid of everything we know. We are going to kill off our old life, Andy. Anyone who's not with us, screw them. They're going to make fun of us. They're going to laugh. We're going to recreate. We're going to change. And dude, I'm going to tell you this, as crazy as this sounds, we up and moved to a new state. No more landmarks. I never saw anything that I remember growing up. All those people I used to run into at the grocery store that I made all these mistakes with growing up, or ex-girlfriends, all of them are gone. Everything was gone. I went to a new place that gave me an opportunity to say, nobody knows me. Nobody knew my wife. It gave me an opportunity to become whoever I wanted to become. Dude, if anybody's watching this and they're struggling, I'm going to tell you, when you go to a new place, dude, you don't have to start out by making money. You have to become a new person. And when you become a new person, you attract all these things you want. When I was broke, when I was deaded out, when I had all these things, it was because I was a person that was attracting that kind of crap. And then very simple, I changed my life. I started attracting different things. That is it. That is it. And so I learned every day I needed to plug into self-development. So we literally took this $1 million house, sold it, all our furniture sold it, cars sold it. We went and moved and into a rent house. We slept on mattresses. And for 2 years, all I did was self-develop. All I did. Got in the best shape of my life, got really close to my wife, showed my kids lots of love, showed me lots of love, started a brand on social media, which in the first 2 years, nobody was liking my videos but my wife. Okay? Like, that's the way it starts. But you know what I know? If you're behind somebody right now and you're like, man, I'm never going to catch that guy, that's a lie. People, when they start to make it and get successful, they slow down. And so I figured that I was going to make it at some point, someday. If I could run as hard as I could, if I could become the greatest man ever, if I could never lie, I could be trusted, if I could have a good heart, if I could be kind to people, if I could do those things, and I could change, I'd be living proof that anyone could change. And then I could teach people the sales things as a good man that, like, I didn't get to learn when I was younger, and I could basically help people not get stuck like me for 20 years. And I just became obsessed. And long story short, 2 years we went broke.
Long story short.
And here we are 3 years after we were broke. I got a team of about 100 guys. We got a 9-figure business. We generate 100 million views every 30 days on social media. My marriage is on fire. My wife's just here. My kids are homeschool here with us.
She just poked her head in the door with a big smile. Huge smile.
She's always here. We're all together. We're doing this. I never thought we could have this life. And really? I'm going to tell you that, every day, just spend time working on you. That's it. And never change. And by the way, listen to me. When you're going after something, especially if you're going after something big, if you want to live for something bigger than you, and you want to be like really passionate and have a purpose, and you want to put up a good financial fence around your family, you want to do all this together. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to be misunderstood by everybody. No one's going to understand what's inside of you. Look, you've got something inside of you. I can't see it externally. I can't tell. I can't see how bad you want it. But if you really do want it that bad, and you'll stay a good person, my intentions change. It means, remember this, I'm not after making a lot of money now. I'm after changing people's lives. And the crazy thing is, I made a lot of money, and I changed a lot of people's lives. I'm still doing what I love, which is sales, but it's just branched off really into the ability to totally reinvent yourself. And I think everybody watching this, you know, if I, and I'll say this and then let's keep rolling it, but if I could show you what your life looked like on the other side of making a decision to change your life, if I could show you what it looked like, you'd fall to your knees right now and start crying. I'm going to tell you this. If God could have said, all right, Andy, stop. Pause this Tony Robbins video, 2019 November. Pause it. And I'm like, God. And he's like, watch this video real quick. And it would show me my highlight reel of my next 5 years. And he would be like, click that button. I want you to buy this because I want to show you what this looks like. I would have clicked that button so many damn times. I would have click. I would have given all my money away, but that's not the way it works.
Right.
The way it works is you got to have faith. You click the button, and then you have to go through the journey of becoming great. You don't get to get shredded immediately. You don't get to get jacked immediately. My wife doesn't start to admire me immediately. It's step by step, day by day. My kids don't look up to me and I'm their hero. My team doesn't look up to me as their mentor and their leader. You know, I don't get to look in the mirror and be proud of me, but I can make a decision immediately that those things are the things that I'm going to work for until the day I die. And that's what I did. So not having a great leader from 18 to 39 was the thing that kept me, that money was success. And yes, we all need money. But if in a world where there's so much mediocrity, there's so much complacency, and there's so many comfortable people, and there's so many lost people, if you'd make the decision to change your life, I'm going to tell you this, morally it's the right thing to do for your family, your bloodline, and all that. But when you do that, you don't understand. You're going to get more than you ever imagined, but then you get into the line of doing God's work, which is like taking care of other people and helping them lead the way and being a good example of what it looks like to change your life. So if you watch this and you're screwed up and you say, man, somebody like me can never have that. Dude, look in the Bible. God takes people that are the brokenest, the Saul, the Christian killer, the worst person ever, and then turned him into the Apostle Paul, who took the Bible first. Notice he hung out with the prostitutes, the tax collectors, all these people. Dude, Jesus wasn't running around with the Pharisees. Dude, he was rolling with the lost. And these people, they were the underdogs is what I call them, right? But like I'm an underdog. And honestly, I'm going to say one more thing. Let's keep rolling because, you know, you have to just put something in my mouth to keep me shut. But I don't like rich people. You know, and some rich people will watch this and they're like, I like this. But I don't like rich people. I'm a broke person with money. I felt like I've been looked down on my whole life. I felt like my whole life when I was in car sales, you know, I understand, yeah, if you looked at all the occupations in the world, at the bottom's probably car salesman and insurance salesman. But dude, I was trying as hard as I could, man. I just wanted to help my family, you know, I mean, you know, I just want to be, how about at some point somebody say, hey man, you know, like, why don't I invest in this guy? You know, like, why don't I help this guy? Why don't I tell this guy, hey, you should go home and be good to your family. Yeah, work your ass off, right? Your wife wants you to be a winner, but work your ass off. Then when you go home, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you have some special energy when you walk in the door and go show your wife some love today? I never had anyone tell me something like that.
Yeah.
You know, hey, why don't you do this, man? Why don't you wake up and beat the sun up, go to the gym, take care of yourself so that you'll be proud of yourself. Plus, you'll feel better about yourself all day long. If you're really in sales, I mean, when you go to the gym and you work out, you got oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins. You got all these biological reward chemicals being released in you that run in your body all day long, and they're free. You just got to work out hard to get them, and you would be on fire. And here I am thinking, you know, that, you know, I'm killing it. And, you know, again, I thought I was making good money, and look what's going on now. And the crazy thing is, I'm trying harder than ever in my life right now to change as a man every day, but I'm not working as hard as I have ever been on my job. And so if
you're not working as hard as you,
I'm working super hard on me, on developing.
Right.
I've always been a hard worker, but I always thought that if I could just work harder, just from being poor, You know, like once you go from being.
Did you have an influence that was a hard worker around you?
Nope.
Or did you see someone that was a hard worker and you said, I want to be a hard worker?
No,
What?
dude, listen, growing up, it was a Jerry Springer shit show in our life. You know, my dad's been married
In
a ton
Oklahoma?
of times. Mom's been married. Mom's crackhead, alcoholic. She left when I was 2. So, you know, I'm cold-hearted because there's no good woman in our life. Dad's raising me. He's always, ex is cheating on him. This shit, another divorce. You know, stepmom.
So you just had a chip on your shoulder.
Dude, I'm just running the streets. Yeah, me and my sisters running the streets.
But I mean, as you grew up, you were a hardworking guy, right?
Well, yeah,
Where
well,
did
I
you
was
develop this work ethic?
Well, so when I started in the car business that first day when they paid me that $1,700 commission, I said, okay, whoa, like this is my way out, is work. Like I got to work. And by the way, it wasn't labor. I actually stuttered when I was 18, which is crazy, but it was to communicate and talk to people. And I was like, I got to get really good at this. And so I used to learn all the word tracks, all the objection handling stuff, all the everything, the presentations. I would memorize word for word.
It seems like there would have been self-development stuff within that content.
It was,
you know, like Tony Robbins type stuff in that content.
Yeah, no, I just memorized everything that everybody said.
You were just focused on the objections, how to get the deals.
Yeah, and honestly, becoming a good person, I never thought about that one time.
Right.
You know why? I never even had a sales meeting in my life where my manager would say, "Who wants to be a better person today?"
Right.
It was, how much money are we going to make today? And so I'm like, money. And the crazy thing is that until I devalued money, I had to devalue money to get money. Once I devalued money, everything changed in my life.
It's the craziest thing in the world, isn't it?
Dude, it doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, listen, everything that we're saying doesn't make sense, okay? But I'm telling you, if you want to be the 1%, you're going to be. Remember, it doesn't make sense to the 99%. So this play, it works. Self-develop on yourself every day. Get your ass in the gym. Work out hard as hell on yourself. You know, an hour and a half every day. It's 4%, 6% of your day. You still got a lot of other time. You know, be good to your family. You know, be where your feet are. When you're at work, be at work. Okay? When you're at home, be at home. When you're at the gym, be at the gym. It ain't that hard. Just be where you are. The reason why everybody's easy to beat is because no one really is where they are now. Everybody's all distracted with this crap. And then also another deal, treat something, if you want something to really last, if you treat something like it's the beginning, there'll never be an end. I see.
Treat something like the beginning.
Like it's the beginning. Think about this. There'll never be an end. Think about you and your wife. You ever seen a couple going to marriage counseling or something? Right? How about this? Why don't you guys go home and treat each other like you did when you first met? Just, has anyone tried that? No? So you're talking about everything that you hate about each other and everything that's wrong. Just go be good to each other. Remember when you first met, you were like, oh my God, I'm going to win her over. I like her. I want her to notice me. Okay, cool. Go do that again. And so like that state has to stay for a lifetime. A new job. I see people get a new job. And how excited are they to prove themselves at a new job? If you treat something like it's the beginning, there'll never be an end. If you treated that state the whole time that you had, hey, I'm going to get real estate. Oh man, thanks for this real estate opportunity. And then, 8 months later, they're brainwashed that this sucks. And they're looking for the next thing. Because I'm like, well, I'm going to put my toe in it. And if I make a bunch of money real fast, then I'll go all in. But if I don't make a lot of money quick, then I'm going to go do something else. And so, like, that's how everybody is. And so I always say, like, if you treat something like it's the beginning, there'll never be an end. And if you treat something like it's even the last time you'll ever get to do it, you'd probably do it way different, your wife and kids are with you here. You flew out here with them. So if you knew it was the last time you're going to see your wife, I'm pretty sure it would be a different kiss. It would be a different goodbye. It would be a different language. It'd be, and so, like, dude, we're just stupid. Human beings are pretty stupid. I mean, you know this. I mean, we do stupid stuff. Sometimes I find myself fighting with my wife, and honestly, we're just pretty stupid, man. I'm going to tell you something. With my team, loyalty is a big deal. Loyalty is a huge deal to me. Huge deal. You break the loyalty deal. Trust is number one. If I go to hire somebody, their trust is number one. If I don't trust you, I don't care how much money you can make me. Okay, second is going to be the heart. Number three is going to be how kind you are. You got to be a good person. I don't care how you treat me, how you're going to treat my team. Okay, it means everything to me. And I I remember one time my guys, I have 2 guys in my company, Ian and Evan Macklin, they're my twins. You might have seen these twins running around here. They're fire-breathing dragons. And I told them when they first started working with me, the first people I hired in my company, and I said, man, loyalty is everything to me, guys. You know, if you're going to be with me forever, you know, we'll go on this journey together, and I'm going to make sure you're highly paid. I'm going to take care of you guys like no other, but just don't ever lie to me. Please, don't ever lie. I got betrayal issues. I'm like super clear. I'm like, dude, I got abandonment issues. I'm telling you. And I got angry. I get mad. I mean, I've changed some of those things, but I'm just like, you know, like betrayal is a big deal to me. So I need to know I can trust you guys. And I remember one time walking into the office, and they were just off. You know, like when someone's on their A game, right? And they were off. And then they were off, and they were off. 3 weeks go by, they're still off.
Couldn't put your finger on it. It was just something.
And I start thinking, and this is why your mind's not very good to you. Maybe they're thinking about getting a job somewhere else. Maybe they're disconnected. Maybe they don't want to be here no more. You know, maybe they already got another offer. Maybe I don't understand. I don't know what's going on, but I'm telling myself all these stories, which is starting to piss me off because now I'm mad at them. And by the way, should I be mad at them? I don't even know what's wrong with them. And so I finally snap on them. And I'm like, dude, you guys promised you were going to be loyal. You guys said you were always going to be committed. You guys said you're always going to give your best. And here you are, you're acting like this. And I couldn't believe it. They're like, dude,
our dog died.
Our grandfather's dying. And he's like our father. I didn't even ask him if everything was okay.
Right.
I'm just an absolute idiot. And I just sat there and I thought, dude, my mind is not good. It's not good. It's never been good. It always thinks the worst. It's always putting ideas and bullshit in my head. It's always made me play safe. It's always made me play small. It's always, anytime there was a good risk, told me don't take it. And when the risk of me staying the same was even a bigger risk, I have literally my mind has self-sabotaged more great things in my life than anyone else. The devil ain't trying to hurt me. I hurt me. He's not trying to cause problems. I cause problems for myself. I'm like, dude,
you don't believe that it's possibly that's the devil at
it's
play,
me,
though?
bro. It's me. It's me. It's me. Most people watching this, the only enemy is them. The devil's goal is to keep you average. Okay? If he keeps you average, you don't ever help anybody. He doesn't need to make you sick and die. Okay? He just needs to make you average. And if you're average, you can't help anybody. So you really didn't live. And at the end of your life, it didn't count
You're
for
just
nothing.
there.
Yeah, you were just there. And I was just there for a long time, and I'm not just there now. And so now that I understand the game, look, and by the way, this is important. The rules to the game have changed. They've changed. If you're not going to stand out, if you're not going to be different, if you can't make relationships that others can't, if you don't understand human capital, if you don't understand relationship capital, you're out. You're out. And you can never make decisions based off money. I'm going to go do this business deal, right? This guy, we're going to make a lot of money. Dude, listen to me. You know what you have with somebody when someone gets pissed off. Don't ever make a business deal with someone if you haven't seen them mad yet, especially mad at you. Okay? So there's all these lessons.
You just need to see that side of them.
Yeah, dude,
how
me and
they're
my
going
wife
to
almost
react.
made this deal with this guy one time, and it had been a $100 million deal easily, and we had done like 20 meetings, and we were almost about to do it. And the guy's like, there's 3 guys. It was like, are we good? Are we good? And my wife said, man, my wife's never wrong. She's like, there's something with that guy. She goes, Andy, tell him we're going to wait 6 months. I just want you to tell him. I said, babe, what do you mean? She's like, just tell him we're going to wait 6 months. Well, me and you will talk about it next week. I want to see what it looks like when we say we're going to wait 6 months.
Right.
So I said, hey, man, we love you guys. We appreciate you. We've all put a lot of energy and effort in all of this, and we want to do this, but we need to make sure that it's right. So we're going to need a couple months to kind of think on it. The guy that she pointed out, she knew it, dude. Within 72 hours, he tripped. He was talking shit on us everywhere. This is the guy that wants to do all this business with us, loves us, wants to do everything. We tell him we need to wait for a minute. He trips, talking trash on us everywhere, starts calling everyone, going psycho, going crazy, sending us crazy-ass text messages, voicemails. Dude, could you imagine if we would have gotten business with that guy? Dude, there's always a problem, and change is always coming. And so I was just saying that, like be careful who you're around, Number one. And number two, like, don't be afraid to change, So my whole life, right, to me, started at 39 years old. November 2019, I had the courage to make a decision, change my life. If you ever get a chance to change your life, buy the training. Buy the training. Buy the training. Buy it. And you say, oh, this guy's trying to sell us something.
Well, you don't have anything to lose.
Well, dude.
You only have something to gain by.
And if you're a winner, you'll always get an ROI. If you bought a training program from me, and let's say it was the worst one in the world, it sucked.
I bought one this year that was horrible. I bought a coaching program for $55K.
But I
made a couple million. I bought another one for $7,500. It was horrible.
But you probably got something out of it. One thing.
It like, going in that it's a risk.
Yeah.
And you're either going to win massively, you're going to learn a big lesson.
Yeah.
But you win. You don't lose. I think that's how winners think. They put themselves in positions where it doesn't matter how this plays out. I win either way.
Yeah, I'm already a winner. And so, like, I win no matter what. My ROI is always I'm going to win.
If I could invest in myself, I think it was Warren Buffett that said the best investment you could ever make is in you.
It is.
And if you make that investment, you
dude, it's 1,000 times ROI.
If you don't, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
If you do, you've got a chance of something amazing happening.
Yeah, and by the way, we're in the era right now of like people who don't care. So, I mean, I hate to say that. I love everybody. I wish I could tell you everybody cared right now. Everybody was at home doing their training, getting ready, and they wanted to kick your ass. They were in the gym, in great shape, taking good care of their families. Good luck competing with all those savages. That's not the way it is. So, like, I'm trying to tell you that, like, now, if you ever wanted to be great, if you ever wanted to curve history, if you ever wanted to break your bloodline, if you ever want to break the label that you've put on yourself and others have, now's the time to do it, right?
Yeah. It's the easiest time in history, I think, but it doesn't feel like it for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on who they're listening to.
Right.
Again.
I wanted to go back that when you were selling cars and you were trying to do that last deal and you kept telling her, I'm coming home for dinner. Car salespeople, probably insurance and mortgage and real estate agents are really bad with this, right? They stay and they work till 10 o'clock or whatever. Where do you draw the line and say, I'm done. Whatever else I could have done, I've got to have this balance in my life.
Well, so number one, I think your wife or your husband wants you to work really hard. I can't imagine my wife wanting to watch me be a loser. The problem is that I was trying to please other people more than I was trying to please my own family. And it was very clear. And not that I wasn't doing it intentionally, but I gave my work 5,000% effort. And I gave my home life just a little bit of effort.
Do you think that was an important part of your learning process?
Yeah, dude. I mean, how many people?
If you didn't go through that, then
I wouldn't know, and that's why I'm trying to tell people, like, you don't have to go through it. You can just learn right now. That, like, remember, just be where your feet are, right? Like if you go work 12 hours a day, just when you go home, your wife doesn't want you to call her all day and tell her how much you love her. She wants when you go home for you to show her that you love her. But what if I call my wife all day long? See, I was this guy. I was like, hey, babe, it's lunchtime. I just want to tell you I love you. And then I would come home and not show her I love her. And so, like, she just sick of it. Like, if you love me, you would show me. And so, like, I always say this, man. Look, if you're going to compete with me and you're the best in business and I'm the best in business, but you have a shitty home life and I have a great home life, I'm going to kick your ass. In 2 years, you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to lose everything that you've worked for. Now.
So what do you do, though? Do you leave at 5 o'clock and say, I'm done? Is there a time? Do you cut it off? Like, how do you?
It's work-life integration. It's work-life integration. Look, let me ask you a question. When I was home, let's go back to before pre-2019. Let's say when I was home, I was really there. And I was present when I was at home. I put my phone down. I was showing my wife lots of love. I was laughing with my kids. I was taking my wife on date night. She'd probably been okay with everything I was doing. The problem is I wasn't present. Can we agree? We see people every time we go out to dinner, no one's talking to each other. Everybody is holding their phone in their hand. Every table is holding their phone in their hand.
Kids,
and
everybody.
And everybody's sitting there doing this. And maybe one or two people are talking.
And you walk by and you look and they're looking at Instagram or TikTok.
Dude,
literally just mindlessly scrolling.
Could you imagine this right now?
They're not even looking at anything interesting or
let's say
important.
me and you are doing this, right? I'm like, yeah. Okay. That's cool, man. You'd be like, dude, I'm out of here, bro.
Right.
Like, I didn't come over here to sit down with you for me to watch you on your phone. Dude, here's the problem, man. No one is where they are. And that's why they're so easy to beat. So this thing right here in your head, social media is a tool to make you money. The internet is a tool to make you money. But most people, it's making them a tool.
Right.
It's making them dumb. It's just making them dumb. And by the way, like, listen, if you're watching, and people say, well, that's how I'm watching right now on social media. No, you're working on yourself. This is called development. This podcast, we are not telling you to go. We were positively peer pressuring you to change your life, which I think is a pretty good influence on you.
We're brainwashing them.
Yeah, we're brainwashing you not to go have a drink, not to go out and have a beer with your friends. You know, it's like we're just saying, hey, work on you more, and then you can help your family better, and you can become great in your life. Look, life's short, dude. We got a lot to do.
So short.
It's going quick, and so.
Yeah. That's you got out of car sales, you got into coaching. I got out of real estate, I got into coaching. I was speaking in Vegas 2 or 3 months ago, and I don't even know. I didn't even really prepare or anything. I just got up there and just let it rip. And halfway through, I didn't realize I was going to ask this, and I said, okay, show of hands, how many of you guys want to be real estate agents forever? And not a single hand went up. And I'm in a room of 500-600 agents who spent money to be here. And I said, okay, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You guys spent time, money, and energy to come here to learn how to do something that you ultimately do not want to do.
Yep.
But none of you, very few of you, most of you are not doing everything you can do every day to succeed as fast as you can, so you can get to the goal, so you can move on to do what you actually want to do with your life.
Yep.
And that was a moment for me when I saw that. I feel like most people don't really want to even be doing what they're doing, even though it's a very high-paying job or they have a great life or whatever the case may be. And I've been using that lately and saying, look, life is short. You know, don't drag out success so long that you die before you get there. Hurry up the process, speed the process up now so that you can get to the things you actually want to do with your life.
Well, when you do this development, we've been saying, you compress time frames.
Yes.
And I know that because I was there basically in 2020. You know, I didn't know this life existed. It exists for everybody watching this. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Everybody's a coach. Everybody's a leader. And it's just how good a one can you be. And when you're a great one, this world rewards you pretty crazy right now.
What are the steps, like the Bible, the formula is be, do, have. Be the person, do the thing, have what you want. And most people just want to have, they don't really want to do. And the ones that do don't really want to be. They don't really put the work in to become. I think to become the person that can do the thing, you first got to visualize it. Then you got to read and research and self-development. Then you start talking differently, right? Then you start doing the things. What, in your opinion, what's the step-by-step? Like somebody's like, okay, I want to change, right? What's the first thing that they do right this second?
Physical, mental, business. You start exercising. You start eating right. That's step one. If you don't take care of yourself, first of all, you're not going to achieve any of this stuff. If you can't achieve simple discipline within your own self, you're not going to have discipline outside of yourself, which is business and all this other stuff. So step one, physical. You got to start taking care of yourself, to me. And everybody would have their own map. Mine, I'm always going to lead you to physical first. You're going to start exercising. You're going to start eating clean. 911. Okay. Secondly, when that happens, your mental mindset's going to change. Because when you're exercising and taking care of yourself and eating clean, you think differently. Physical, mental, and then you crush it in business.
Right.
And that's it. And by the way, like, I mean, God's important to me. So like everything is evolved around having a relationship with God through everything. And that's it. But I'm just telling you, it's physical, mental, business. That's my game plan. I tell everybody. And there's lots of micro things that you can do and all those things. But it'd be step one, get in shape. Oh man, I want to make money. Get in shape. Oh man, I want to have a better marriage. Get in shape. Hey Andy, I want to have more energy. Get in shape. I don't want to listen to you. Go find someone else. No, like,
shape.
No, like, listen, like, I know the play. I know the play.
Right.
I know the play. If you run with me, you're going to get in shape. and then you're going to be physically, fit, and then that's going to allow you to have a mental strong mindset, and you're the gatekeeper to your mind. You're going to quit letting crap come in there, and then you're going to start, plugging into good stuff. You got to plug into good stuff, right? Don't listen to crap music. Plug into good stuff.
I found this fascinating. I want to end with this. Before we hit record, you were telling me these little things that you're doing to continue to transform yourself. And I think a lot of people look at guys like us or, a Tony or any of these bigger names, and they kind of look at them like they're at the top. There's nowhere to go. You're bumping your head on the ceiling. You can't get any better. What are you trying to achieve? What are you going to transform into? You're already there. You're past there. You're beyond there. And I found that extremely interesting, that you're still continuing to try to find those little things that you can fine tune within yourself to continue to transform and get better. And I don't think a lot of people probably watch your content and don't realize that. They see you as this hard person, which you're actually not. Yeah,
super
not that
loving.
Hard.
Yeah, I'm super loving. Yeah.
But you're still transforming yourself. You're still, it's like you're not the journey, it's a journey.
Yeah, we're just getting warmed up.
You're still on. And man, kudos and I just congratulations. And I find it extremely interesting. Like a guy like you is like, and what you told me you were going to change was even more in my mind. It just was a testament of just how great you are at transformation and trying to find the best pathway to help most people.
Yeah.
Because what you're talking about was going from the millions of lives you're changing now to even more, and even a more long-term approach to it.
Yeah, I always think if a pro thinks long range, right? Like amateurs think short range. Where can I be this month? Where can I be by this week? Where can I be next year? But if you think long range, like if I do this thing, is this good for me long range? And so, and
10,
what he's talking
20,
about,
30 years.
Yeah, and what he's talking about is cussing. I was like, I need to quit cussing. And by the way, I don't think cussing is a heaven or hell thing. Like if you go to heaven, like God's gonna be like, you're not getting in. You said some cuss words. But it is a discipline thing. And also, I said, if I want to help more people, there's some people that can't listen to cussing. And also, if I'm interested in helping our youth that's coming up, the youth can't hear my message if I cuss. I mean, I wouldn't let my kids listen to it. And so I just need to think about that. It's not what I want. It's what's the right thing to do. It's God's work. It's not mine. I give him all the credit. And ultimately, at the end of the day, like, so 2025, my goal is to just get as close to God as I can and have a relationship with him. And I just know that he's got the steering wheel and like it's going to go where it's going to go. But I know that cussing needs to be removed from my mouth. So like our whole company is just like trying our hardest to just stop cussing.
It's going to be a process.
Yeah, but I'm good at discipline.
Yeah.
I'm good at it. So like I can do it. And so like I'm actually excited about it. I'm excited to be a better man.
I removed profanity from my content a while back, probably about a year ago. Because I was like, there's people out there that would do business with me if I'm not using profanity? Are there people out there that won't do business with me because I'm using profanity? Okay.
Yeah.
And I realized that
it's just not good for your brand.
It's not.
Your brand is to be the best version of yourself.
It's become a interruption.
Yeah.
A pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
For a lot of these influencers and stuff. And I hate to see people using it, because they think that it's,
Well, I'm an addict. Like I always say, greatness is found in the extremes, right? If you want to be great, it's because you're extreme. And so, like, I either need to do it or not do it.
I'm the same way. I'm either all in or all out.
Exactly. So I've just decided.
That's why I had to quit drinking.
Yeah. Well, that's what my deal is. So like I'm like okay, like no more cussing. Like it's like hard line. And so so 2025 is gonna be a great year. Everybody that's taking the time, if you've made it to this end, I would tell you, just like understand, like you have no idea what's possible. You have no idea, and no one else is gonna believe that you can do it, but you must believe you can do it. And if you have one person that has the courage to tell you, and you may not have this, so you may have to tell yourself this, but to tell you the truth that, you're capable of more, you need to be a better person, you going out drinking, you may think about this, somebody's been a nag to you in your life, and they've told you, you need to quit doing that, those people aren't good for you to hang out with, you need to stop going doing this. You may realize maybe those people aren't nags. Maybe that's the only damn person in this life that loves you, that actually wants to see you become the best version of you. I see a lot of people in this world right now hating people that want to try to, self-correct them. And criticism, winners love it, and they look in the mirror and own their shit and change. And then, losers, they just give away the power to change anything because they make excuses. And so I would just say, let's all level up. Like, when somebody calls you out, they're actually calling you up. And, that's it. And I said, God opens doors, that humans can't close. And when you become a better person, I believe that's God's work. I believe God doesn't create. God's not looking for the meek, the weak, and sheep. He's looking for strong leaders, and he's looking for broken boldness. He's looking for people who are broken and who are like, hey, dude, use me as a badass testimony. Like, I want you to use me as a great testimony. Like, I'm in. Let's go. Like, so I'll change. Like, use me. And he will, man. And it won't be easy, but it's also not easy being a loser. Okay? Because I've been a loser, and that wasn't easy. So, it's all a little bit difficult. But, success and all that stuff, I think it comes from chasing the man you're supposed to become and not chasing the money. And I think all the money is going to come.
Yeah. I had a guy that was, he gets depressed and stuff. And I said, are you reading the books I told you to read? He's like, I just don't have time. I got kids in the mornings. I said, what's harder? What's tougher? Reading or being depressed all the time? Yep. It's like there's a trade-off there that they're just.
He's got time. But you guys all have time. No more excuses. And I promise you, like, the podcast, why we make, content like this is so that, I always say you're one speaker away from changing your life. You're one video, you're one thing away from changing your life. And if that's you, remember mine, I told you when I saw mine, and I can change everything about my life. And so you got to make a decision and then start taking new actions and then just keep your word.
Bro, thank you so much.
You bet, man.
Absolutely.
Super
Guys, if you're
grateful.
not following Andy, I'll put all his links in the description below and all his stuff. So go there if you enjoyed this podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
It's good.
Sweet, bro. Thanks, man.
Love it.
I mean, it's just incredible stuff.
Yeah. Super cool.